Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm going to be very short due to the time left, and I will just focus on the main subject we've been discussing today, which is consumer protection. If we are talking about consumer protection, we have been talking before that, obviously, about good conduct codes, soft law, financial education, regulation. And my concern is what is going to happen if all of this, doesn't work. Well, if it doesn't work and we still want to talk about consumer protection, obviously we will have to talk about an access to redress. This is the main part of what is left if we want to have all our consumers confident again in all the services which are given to them. I don't know if I'm going to go through all that. Just one word on who I am. I've been presented, I'm the French insurance mediator. In fact, I am an ombudsman because I do act as an ombudsman. And I am a member of the steering committee of FinNet from the beginning, that's from the year 2000 when it has been set up. And also a founding member of a global association of financial mediators, which is called INFO. What do we want to see? 40 countries today, of every size, have ombudsmen. The list is there. I will leave you all those documents. But you will see that some have not. And I do think that here, our friends are in such case. What do I mean by ombudsman? Resolve, of course, out of course, speedily, no regulation, and free for the consumers. In one word, it's the big against the small, or the small against the big. The aim is to restore a balance and to restore confidence between the two, between the consumer on the one hand, and between the provider on the other hand. The consumer complains to financial services provider first, and then, if not satisfied, can go to see the ombudsman. The ombudsman handles the case and very speedily tries to find up a solution which is acceptable by both parties. So for that, we actively investigate, well, that's our internal cuisine, I would say. That's not the most important today. I think the most important today is that retail financial services depend on consumers' trust in financial products and providers, like it or not. And therefore, consumers' trust is supported by financially sound providers, that's regulation, good conduct by providers, that's regulation or codes, and compensation if the provider treats them badly. And this is where the ombudsman comes in. The compensation if the provider becomes insolvent or if there is a matter of consumer confidence. Obviously, benefits for everybody, and I weight my words. Benefits for the consumer, because the ombudsman provides redress if the thing goes wrong, use accessible, speedy, and informal processes, are a source of impartial information, increase confidence in financial products. And benefits also, and I would like to stick there, for the good financial service providers. Because the ombudsman increase the confidence in the financial product, they are specialists and they are consistent, and they improve the image of the industry, and they help fair competition, and they confirm impartially when providers are right, which is the case quite often, I must say. If I stick to my own personal experience, I have been the French insurance, I've been elected in the year 2000 as the French insurance mediator, and I can tell you that at the time, the general discourse of the industry was, why do we need an ombudsman? I have no problem in my company. I am big enough to solve them if in a case a problem occurs, and in any case, we can go to court. So this was in the year 80s and the year 90s, and today, and for the past 10 years, we have changed absolutely change the scheme, because it is quite often that it is the undertaking, the insurance company, which comes to me and asks for mediation. So it's obvious that the most interested people in such schemes are, beside, of course, the consumers, the insurance companies. Okay, I will leave you all those documents because I want to be as short as possible to enable a discussion, if that's wishes. Today, we are facing another situation. I have stated that only 40 countries had set up such schemes. Within Europe, now the problem is solved because it's solved by a directive of 2013, which will impose in all the sectors of the merchant economy the ombudsman scheme or mediation scheme or ADR schemes, call it as you wish, to enable any consumer, individual, to try to solve his problem out of court. Regarding financial sector, some countries have no such schemes yet, even in France, where the existing schemes are not in compliance with the directive prescriptions, which are rather tough and accurate and precise. So what is left for a country like yours? Well, I've got a good news. What is left is 3 months, because the directive is already implemented and will be enforced in July 2015. And it will be the responsibility of the government of the member states to act in this way. First of all, make sure that you have ombudsmen in all the sectors, including the financial sectors, which to comply with the directive itself. That is to say, the mediator has to be an independent person, the mediator has to be transparent, the mediator has to be organized, efficient, etc. I will leave you the reading of the directive, which is very, very interesting on that point of view. And 3, a competent authority will report to the Commission that the situation is such and now free again. So I will just on that particular spot come back to you, because this morning you mentioned how you felt about those ADR. The directive makes something optional for each member state, which is to make the ADR mandatory, provided it doesn't bar the access to court at the end of the process, gives the ADRs power to impose a solution, eventually, or impose higher standards than the one of the directive itself. So it's not a matter of asking ourselves, do I really want an ombudsman? How I'm going to set an ombudsman? Yes, I favor ombudsman also. No, the situation now is that one. So this is just in bracket. What is happening after that? If you have an ombudsman or ombudsman for each sector of the financial services, then you will be able to join the FINNET. And the FINNET is the organization of financial ombudsmen within the European Commission. And the role of the FINNET is mainly to solve trans-borders litigation. And this joins what you have just said before. If we are dealing with within the FOS, financial freedom services, we might have to deal with different persons which are out of the country. Very soon, after all the ADRs are put in place, there will be the implementation of the ODR directive, which is it's not a directive, sorry, the ODR regulation, which will deal with online online litigations. And that is going to improve, I believe, very much the situation. So, just as a conclusion, I've got one word for everybody, is I am looking forward to welcome you all soon within either the FinNet or the info scheme. So I'm leaving some documents there, and if you can put the last slide, just to give you a little idea of the literature you will have access to, mainly the organization of FinNet, the organization of Info. In French, I'm sorry, but it's a presentation I made explaining how FinNet works. And also the two reports my colleague, the UK Ombudsman, David Thomas, and myself have made on behalf of the World Bank, and which sets principles, fundamental principles on how to set a proper financial ombudsman. Those principles have been taken in charge by the World Bank on the one side, by OECD on the other side, and also is a sort of a charter for the Info Global Financial Ombudsman Organization. Thank you very much indeed.